I want to approach the job search in a way that feels honest to me, but doing that feels suboptimal, and it seems like it's against common negotiation advice. And because lately I've been running out of money and also probably running out of faith from my family to keep this situation going, I'm thinking that I could just try, right? I could just try to apply to companies the regular way, the usual way. And if it bombs, it will bomb on my terms. And it will be some experience that I get on my back, some interviewing experience and all that. Or that if it actually succeeds, it will succeed on my terms. But it just feels pointless to me, because it seems like the environment isn't set up for me to succeed like that, and it feels like I would just be wasting time instead of just doing what I want to do. And I also don't want to do it the rational, like the cheeky but rational way, which would be to like probe on my network, right? I don't want to probe on my network too much because I feel needy from that. I don't think it's a wrong approach for the people who do it in a tactful manner, who are mindful of what connections their friends have and stuff like that. But I feel like because of the current relationship that I have with my network, aka my friends and my family and stuff like that, I don't feel like me plus that approach would be perceived in a non-needy way, in the non-needy way that I want it to be perceived, right? It wouldn't feel honest to me, right? And so, like, what do I mean with this? Something that feels honest to me in both of these sentences, right? And I feel like it's something like treading the line between feeling valued and also putting myself out there in a valuable way for others, right? So I don't exactly mean it like money, right? I don't mean it just like money. I want money for rent, to pay for rent in places where I want to live, and to travel to places where I want to go and stuff like that, and to buy things that I want, and I need capital to do my projects. But I think mainly it's a matter of not wanting to be taken advantage of, right? I don't want to be taken advantage of, and it seems like the game is that, right? That's the hiring game. It seems like they are just trying to get you the least pay possible, while you are trying to get the most pay possible, and it's kind of this confrontational thing. And I don't like that. I don't want to play that game. So I would just like to know what their budget is, and what I want, and what I would take, and I lay all those cards on the table, and lay how long I plan to stay, and what would happen if I don't stay, and what will happen if I want to go, and what will happen if I want to keep going, and what they want for me to do. They want me to keep going, they want to keep me, or they don't want to. I'm replaceable, am I not replaceable? All those kinds of things, right? I want all those discussions to be clear, and all the cards to be laid out on the table. And it seems like that's just not how it works, because of the processes, or because of bureaucracy, or because of how people are, of human nature. I don't know, but that just doesn't seem like the thing. So that's not the path I want to take. I don't want this traditional path. And regarding this traditional path thing, I found this newsletter. Well, I didn't find it. I'm subscribed to the newsletter. So yeah, it's called "It's Easier to Write a Resume Than Craft a Spirit." It's Paul Miller Boundless newsletter, and in this part he's talking about this podcast that he saw where two people are talking about it. And in this podcast there's one of these entrepreneurs who are also on their pathless path, who are talking about digital nomadism, and they say that this thing, right, that is a wonderful idea for an entrepreneur to start breaking narrative paradigms, right? What about a business? Should you get VC funding? Sure, every business needs funding, blah, blah, blah. No, maybe you don't need to put a VC in the loop. You can self-fund, you can get a bank loan, whatever, right? Or do you have to build it in secret and then sell it? Maybe not. Maybe you just don't want to sell it. Maybe you just want to, you want to build in public because that's the future and that's how the world is moving towards. Or what I would add here is like, you cannot reveal all your cards because people won't reveal their cards to you. And what I would add is maybe that's changing, right? Maybe the thing forward is to reveal all your fucking cards, and people will see, oh, look, he just showed all his fucking cards. We can show him ours, and it will work out. And that's what I'm trying to move towards. That's what I'm talking about with this. I want it to feel honest and stuff like that, right? I want to move towards that. That's the kind of employment I'm trying to move towards. And that doesn't seem like the path of regular employment. So I'm just fucking around until I get there. And yeah, basically, this may all sound like my wishful thinking from this privileged position. That I will say that doesn't feel all that privileged, because there are a lot of constraints in my situation. As you can see, living with your parents, yeah, it's privileged on one side, but it's also not that privileged on the other side, right? I won't go into them because they may sound like petty complaints to people, or just get a job or whatever. But yeah, they are constraints which I'm holding to in this life. So I acknowledge that it is kind of a bourgeois luxury to be able to behave like this, to be able to just say, fuck it, I want to fuck around and find out. But it is also something which is treading into unexplored territory and stuff like that. And I know that there are a lot of arguments against this wishful thinking, and people will say that and people, including myself, will say that it's delusional, that it's stupid, it's a waste of time, that it's not a matter of hiring versus freelancing versus whatever, versus doing your own thing versus working for others. It's just how the world works. The world is built on this game theoretical perspective, and the defecting is always the advantage. Cooperate versus defect, people are going to choose defect, so your wishful thinking will never come true. And it's probably true, it has probably been true in the past, it may be still be true in the future, but I'm trying to get to this utopical pockets of people where that doesn't hold true, where cooperate, where reveal all your cards, where be honest, where is the move, right? Where that is the actual game theoretical advantage. I want to move to those pockets of the world where that is happening. I'm not sure if it will ever happen, but I think that something about the media's landscape is evolving towards that. Some niche places in the media landscape, in this online community, are moving towards that. And I think it's possible. I'm not sure, but I think it may be possible, and I think fucking around and finding out is maybe worth it. And that's what I'm gesturing towards in that video called It's So Early, that I will link over here right now, right? And this video isn't a hire me pitch yet. It's more of a vibe thing. I want to communicate why I'm not getting hired for anything, or why I'm not putting any effort on being hired by anyone, right? And this is why, right? This is just this vibe check that I want to put out. But I will probably actually do some kind of, so what the fuck can you actually do? You say that you want to be valued. What the fuck are you providing, right? I will get onto that sometime soon. But yeah, this right now isn't it. This is just the end of the video, and this is a video part of my 100 video series. And yeah, I will put the video here on my face or somewhere over here, and I will probably also put the It's So Early video I talked about, and you can check those videos out, and bye.